Hi, and welcome back to the channel. We are continuing Attack on Titan. This is season 3, episode 12. So, the last episode in part 1 of season 3. And we just had a pretty intriguing episode about the bystander, Keith, who we've met before, back in the beginning of season 1. And we really bridged some of those gaps there with the story and the timeline, and especially in regards to Grisha Jaeger and all that in the past. We talked a lot about it, so I think we're pretty much just gonna jump into this one. Do you have anything that something you expect to see here? Or because I have no idea what this one is going to be about, other than maybe just teeing up what we're gonna get in part 2 of season 3, and I think it's gonna have some more to do with Raina and Berthold and the monkey, and maybe where's Emir at this point? Maybe even some more stuff with Annie. But I just want to know some more about their faction now. What about you? Pretty much the same.
You said it, man.
I said it. Fair enough. Fair enough. Then let's jump into it. And you can of course, you can of course always check out our full-length reactions where you can sync up the footage with your own copy of the episode. We also have early reactions for Attack on Titan at the moment, where we are several episodes ahead compared to here on YouTube. It's all over on Patreon, and the link is down in the description below.
Breathe.
Yeah, I know. It just feels like that, like it's getting longer and longer every time I do it, but it's pretty much I say the same stuff every time. Here we go.
遅れてすまんな。
Zachary.
それで
Crazy old bastard.
人間の骨髄液由来の成分ではあるようなのですが、この液体は空気に触れるとたちまち気化してしまい、分析が困難です。
ならば、下手に扱うよりも当初の目的に使用するほかなかろう。
この箱は最も生存確率の高い優れた兵士に委ねるべきかと。
Levi?
Yep.
引き受けてくれるか。
任務なら命令すればいい。なぜそんなことを聞く？
Want your opinion, man?
これを使用するぞ。
状況によっては誰に使用するべきか、君が決めることになる。
ところで、そろそろ私の作品を披露したいのだが。
What work?
あのようなおぞましいもの民衆にさらしてみよう。兵団への信頼も地に叩き落とされるぞ。芸術わからんやつめ。
You did what?
Is it that thing where he's just still forcing them to eat their own
Shit.
I was about to say feces, but yeah, shit. I don't know if I just want to call that a work of art, but I'm sure Zachary sees it that way. It's so disgusting. And what he wanted like show the people that? Maybe not. I'm with the others. That might shake their trust in the scouts and the military overall. Like, what you're doing? What? That seems inhumane. Like, even to assholes like the fake royals there.
Like, I know they don't have the same thing, but here we have the Geneva Convention. Isn't that what it's called? The anti-torture convention. Wasn't it called the Geneva?
Geneva, yeah.
We have that here because it's inhumane to torture people. But I know they don't have Geneva there, so.
Yeah. They don't have the same kind of rules. It's nice that Levi, he gave that syringe to the others and for them to figure out what to do about it, and he didn't just keep it to himself, even though he ended up with it either way. And he's still the one who's gonna have to make a decision about it when the time comes. But interesting. And it's definitely gonna come into play.
Yep.
Night of the battle to retake the wall. What?
Excuse me?
つまりエレンの父、グリシャ・イエーガーは壁の外から来た人間である可能性が高いと。
おそらくはこの壁に入ってから独力で王政を探るなどしていたんだろうし、凄まじい意識と覚悟がなきゃできることじゃない。死に際にそこに全てがあると言い残した地下室。そこには一体何があると思う？
Get to that basement!
グリシャ・イエーガーが言いたくても言えなかったこと。
Just like Erwin's father.
本日で全ての準備は整った。ウォールマリア奪還作戦は2日後に決行する。
It finally starts.
地下室には何があるのか知りたければ見に行けばいい。それが調査兵団だろう。
It is.
シャーディス団長の隠匿罪についてはどうする？
ほっとけばいい。あんなのに構ってる暇はないよ。
ショックだよな、ハンジ。あんたの憧れだったのに。
No?
うるさい。
Shut up!
ウォールマリアを奪還した後はどうする？
脅威の排除だ。壁の外にはどうしても我々を巨人に食わせたいと思っている奴がいるらしいからな。もっともそれが何なのかは地下室に答えがあると踏んでいる。
お前がそこまで生きてるかわからねえから聞いてんだぜ。
Well, that's blunt.
現場の指揮はハンジに託せ。連中には俺がそうごねたと説明する。いや、実際そうするつもりだ。
I'm gonna do that either
それが
way.
いいな。
He wants to be there.
餌で構わない。おとりに使え。指揮権の序列もこれまで通り。
Erwin?
Did what?
すべて私の発案だ。私がやらなければ成功率が下がる。
その上お前がくたばったら後がねえ。お前は椅子に座って頭を動かすだけで十分だ。
いいや違う。
Need you, Erwin.
一番はこの作戦に全てをかけることに。
おいおいおいおい、待て待て。これ以上俺に建前を使うなら、お前の両足の骨を折る。
Wow.
それは困るな。
Tough love.
確かにお前の言う通り。でもな、この世の真実が明らかになる瞬間には、私が立ち会わなければならない。
それが、そんなに大事か。
ああ、
人類の勝利より。
ああ。
Whoa.
Okay.
Hmm.
Breaking legs? No? Okay.
お前の判断を信じよう。
Wow. Meat shortage. That makes a lot of sense.
兵士ならば騒ぎすぎにを英気を養ってみせろ。
肉何これ肉？
マジかよ。
今晩はウォールマリア奪還の前祝いだ。乾杯。
Bye.
一人で全部食うやつがあるっけ。
Ow!
調査兵団は肉も食えなかったのか。
Becoming animals.
おい、調査が出るぞ。
なんだ肉を与えようって言ったのは俺のね、奮発して逃げるのジョッキをつぎ込むのがよく分かったようでも。
It's rare occasions of just pure comedy.
以前は人に肉を分け与えようとしてたんだよな。
いつだよ。
土地を奪還すればまた
Oh,
牛も羊も飼えますか
that
ら。
was like
That was-
right before.
The second time, yeah.
Only 4 months, and so much has happened.
Yeah.
でも4ヶ月で俺たちあのリヴァイ班だ。スピード出世ってやつだよな。
Because people died?
お前は天才だからな。
Also because they did a good job, but yeah, definitely also because a lot of people died.
新兵から真っ先に捨て駒にしてたら次の世代に続かねえだろ。だからお前らの班は後ろから見学でもして生きて帰ることが仕事なんだよ。一番使えねえのは1にも2にも突撃しかできねえ死に急ぎ野郎だよ。なあ、
俺は結構普通なんだよな。そんな俺に言わせりゃお前は臆病すぎだぜ。じゃあ
Oh, god damn it.
Always at each other's throats.
Back to this. And Armin is just sitting in the middle like, oh, please stop.
囚人の力がなかったらお前何回死んだんだ。そのためにミカサに助けてもらって。それは肝に銘じときろ。お前こそ母ちゃん大事にしろよ。全部そりゃ忘れろ。
Fuck you guys. Yeah, shouldn't you? No. Okay.
誰も止めてくれねえんだ。
They're exhausted.
出てきちまう。
おい、
Oh,
Oh.
お
oi.
前ら全員はしゃぎすぎだ。もう寝ろ。あと掃除しろ。
Hey, what about? Can you just leave
Every
Sasha?
time.
Come on.
しろ怪我してもすぐ治るからなって思って見てたよ。
ひでえ話だ。
That's so cruel.
自分から仕掛けたくせに。
Yeah.
でも元気が戻ったね。
Yeah.
でも兵長だってお前だって一人じゃどうにもならないよな。だから俺たちは自分にできることを何か見つけて、それをつなぎ合わせて大きな力に変えることができる。
Yes.
人と人が違うのは
Only get so far without a tribe.
Aww.
ウォールマリアを取り戻して襲ってくる敵を全部倒したらまた戻れるの、あの時に。
戻すんだよ。でももう全部は帰ってこねえ。ツケを払ってもらわねえとな。
海だ。壁の外にあるのは巨人だけじゃないよ。
Back to being hopeful.
Yeah.
また二人しかわからない話してる。この壁の中の何倍も広いんだよ。
And that thing is still just smashing titans. Okay, what's gonna happen? Something's gonna happen. Something unexpected, right? Hey! Oh, people are rooting for them, finally! They don't mind it.
調査兵団がこれだけ歓迎されるのはいつ以来だ。さてな、そんな時が
Since never.
Susume!
Susume!
ウォールマリア最終奪還作戦開始。
Chills. There we go.
Oh, okay.
What's no? What? Ah! What's up? You can't just. Okay, no, yeah, I guess this is the last in part 1. Then that makes sort of sense because it's leading into okay now finally retake Wall Maria. Go for that fucking basement. Let's get some answers. We know a lot of the people, you know, going there, at least people in charge and Levi's squad. And things are better inside of the city. Still, what they also talked about in the episode, it being like 4 months. All of this happening in 4 months, pretty much, except for like the very beginning of the series.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're here. And we know there's a post-credit scene, so we're just waiting for that. What? Was that a rewind?
自分で何をやっているのか
No.
分かっているのか
Excuse me, what? What?
What the hell was that? Okay. It certainly seemed like a flash forward. Something that's gonna happen. Something's gonna go seriously fucking wrong. And what did he say? Like, do you guys have any idea of what you've done or what you're doing or something?
Yeah.
And he was covered in blood, Levi.
Yeah, and it was hot blood. So that was Titan blood.
Oh, it was? Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
you
I
can see
didn't
the
notice
steam
if he
coming
was
up
steaming
of
or
him.
not. Okay, because I was unsure if
When
that was...
Mikasa was kind of pinning him down, you could see that like the blood was kind
Okay,
of
okay.
steaming off his face.
What the hell is gonna happen? That was some tease.
Just a lot of flash, like very quick flashes, and then
Yeah, like stuff I feel like we've definitely seen before, and maybe there was some stuff we haven't seen, and I'm still very confused about like when that whole thing with Raina and Bertolt was, like the scene that we actually saw at the end of episode 10 here in this season, with the monkey showing up, and now we also got Raina sitting on the... Was that Bertolt standing behind him, just with longer hair? Or
possibly, yeah.
Then the scene we saw the one I just mentioned, I'm pretty sure he still had short hair then. So that must mean that happened like a couple of months ago, when they were also defeating Rodreis in Titan form. Yeah. Okay, yeah, a bit of timeline confusion there, but we know they're gonna explain all of it in due time. It's just for right now. Okay. But anyhow, that was season 3, episode 12. I mentioned it during the episode that we got a lot of comedy, a lot of humor inside of this one, and it really felt like a bit of a breather with some of the things, even though of course they still talked about some very important things, of significance, and what they're going to do, and some planning in there, but also just an element of, before we at least leave for this next mission to retake Wall Maria and then go to the basement, then make sure everything is ready, and also let everyone just have sort of a night off and just while out, which they certainly did, especially because of the addition of meat, which is very hard to come by, and they just turned into full-on fucking animals in the face of that, whatever that meat was that they got. Yeah.
I know it was for comedic effect, but
yeah. It seemed like maybe a little bit much, but yeah, we know, and of course with Sasha and everything,
and there's like,
she loves food,
and there are definitely people out there who loves meat that much. But honestly, I can't say I miss it.
No.
So it's just, for me, it's very hard to relate to.
Yeah. But I think it's also like we don't. Oh well. Yeah.
We take meat for granted here.
Yes. We don't live in a world where it's scarce, and we can't really get it in the same way. Like, we have to go back a bunch of years. Not like in grand scheme of things when you look at human history. No, it's not a lot of years. We have to go back until it's like, oh, meat, that was a luxury. You get it on special occasions. If you go out fucking hunting or something.
Yeah, and it's still a luxury in some countries.
It is. It's just for a large portion of the world, it's we're very, very much spoiled.
Yeah.
But let's not get further into that. There's no reason to. It was just nice to see them.
Fun thing, yeah, and it was nice to see some spunk.
Back in back in Erwin, because we haven't hothead.
Yeah, we haven't seen that in a long while, and definitely been noticing he's been very
down in the dumps.
Very unusually quiet.
Yeah, but it's also with everything that's happened, and again in the span of only 4 fucking months, that it weighs heavily on him. And now finally, he's gotten to a place where he sort of feels more comfortable in his own role there, and he can get into things again with Sean, and they can start beating each other up and yell at each other, and no one's really gonna stop them, so they'll just get exhausted, or Levi will come by and stop it. But speaking of Levi, to me, the definitely one of the more interesting scenes inside of this episode was the scene between Levi and Erwin
Yeah.
in the office when it was just those two. And we got to see a side of Erwin that maybe we should have anticipated, but it still caught me a little bit by surprise that he was like that he actually admitted that even like him gaining this knowledge, him being there to like when they get to the basement and they hopefully get all the answers, that means more to him than anything else, even humanity's survival.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a bit on the extremist side, I would say.
Yeah, I also do, because it is established, and that's why I said maybe we should have sort of anticipated it with everything that's been going on, because he's been trying to get to the truth for so long, just, you know, for his character. But then there's also what we learned about his past with his father, and what he did and how he disappeared, and
that's definitely shaped him.
It's
yeah. And there's a lot of things that happens in our past that will become something that's can be seen as strengths at some point, but then they actually they can become so obsessive about it that it becomes
a weakness.
Such as putting your wanting to know the truth in front of like prioritize it higher than and even like the survival of humanity.
Yes, because Levi said it, and Erwin even agreed to it, that the best course of action here, the smartest decision, is for Erwin to stay behind.
Yeah.
Because one, he's wounded. He can't do as well on the front lines as he did before. And two, we need him. Like, we need his fucking brain. We need his strategies. We need him behind a desk, unfortunately, is pretty much what he said. And Levi was willing to just break both of Erwin's legs for that.
If it meant him not going.
If it meant him not going.
I think he valued Erwin being true to him, like just being truthful and saying, this is how it is, and I felt like he just like accepted it, and in a way like appreciated the honesty, at least. And they definitely have a quite a solid relationship, the two of them. That is based on.
I think it is based very much on that honesty and trust, and because Erwin continues to be honest, and maybe like the most honest with Levi.
Yeah.
Out of everyone. So that keeps that connection there, and Levi is in turn gonna keep trusting Erwin to make those decisions, even if he doesn't agree with them.
Yeah, and in return, he's been entrusted with the serum.
True.
Yeah,
that's gonna come into play at some point.
Yeah,
for sure. I can't stop thinking about that post-credit scene, because it's like, what happens for things to escalate? What goes wrong? Yeah. What did Eren and Mikasa do? Or what did Eren do? And why is Levi freaking out like that? And who would win in a fight between Levi and Mikasa? I do not want to find out, but we might, just based on that. And is that when he uses the syringe? Or no, he's not going to use it to save his own life or anything like that. I don't imagine. But we don't even know exactly what it is going to do. We just know it's going to do something, because they could never figure it out, because apparently every time they try to like analyze the fluid inside, it just vaporized. So.
Yeah, every time it comes in contact with air, it vaporizes.
Yeah, so the technology is just way beyond anything they have.
Yeah, and it also kind of is in line with how we've seen it with the Titans. For example, Titan blood, how it vaporizes.
Yeah.
So there's definitely a connection there.
It is a part of that technology. So where does that actually come from?
And since they've been injecting people with this to turn them into Titans for like decades, for almost like centuries. It's
we
like
don't know, but
it's even like even though it's an advanced technique, it's
been there for a while.
Yeah. Or
So,
advanced technology, sorry.
yeah, I know what you mean. It's just, those answers will come as well at some point. But I'm really hyped about continuing now, at least, and then the prospect of finally getting to that fucking basement and seeing what's in there. But I'm sure I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that it's still gonna be sort of a letdown or something. Like they're not gonna find exactly the answers that they want, or maybe the answers are going to be something that they really don't want to hear, or
maybe they just hear one part of the story and we still need to piece together, for example, why the outside people, why they're attacking, and we still need to like understand, like there's still I think there's still a lot more to understand about this whole thing.
I hope, I have an inkling also that it's the same. But when we start the next episode and we get into part 2 of season 3, that we are really finally going to start to see things from the perspective of this other faction, people outside the wall, and gonna see what Rainer and Bertolt, what they're up to, and who is truly inside of the monkey, who that person is that we saw there. And because we have we've teed up what the scouts are going to do, and it's gonna maybe take a little while for them to get there, and I don't know what's gonna happen on the way there, but a lot has been resolved character wise, and we know I don't know what's going to happen between now and then them getting to the basement. So I could see the series, spending some time and filling out, some of that with the other perspective. And then we're going to stay with them maybe for a little while. And then the scouts and everyone else is going to come back in and maybe really screw up things for some people that we've just gotten to know from the other faction, or, that's just off the top of my head, maybe how I would tell this story, but I'm definitely not, a master storyteller or anything by any stretch of the imagination. So we'll see if I'm right about that. But that could be the way to do things here, and to get into some of the stuff that we really want to get into as well. But do you have anything else you want to add to this one?
Yeah, small thing. After the whole meat fighting scene, we had this moment where it was just Mikasa, Eren, and Armin.
Yeah, on the stairs there.
Yeah, and they were talking about what are we gonna do once we resolved everything, and
really getting ahead of themselves there.
Yeah, it was a little bit naive, I would say, but I definitely understand you have to have some sort of carrot at the end of the stick, so you
some sort
have
of hope
to
something to strive
hold on
towards.
to.
And
it was kind of cute, but it just reminded me so much of that scene in Return of the King in the end, where Frodo was talking about how this journey affected him, when he left the Shire. He was one person, and then he came back, and he would never be the same again, and it felt like
the journey forever changed him.
And in a way, his life is just pieces that cannot be glued together again, and that's also why he chose to go with the last boat to the west. But there's just that sentiment, when it's that's why I feel like it's a little bit naive that they think, we could just go back and figure out what we want to do once we get back. What if they're so broken by everything they've experienced that they're just a hollow shell, or a version of themselves that they might not recognize, or how just maybe they would resign too, or I'm not saying it has to be that way, but it just gave me that
vibe
a little bit. No, I'm definitely not saying that's what's gonna happen.
No. And I don't think that's definitely not something, because you mentioned it's important to have some sort of hope, something to look forward to. in the future on the horizon there. But it's also very likely that this entire journey is going to completely break them and do what you explained with Frodo as an example from Lord of the Rings. But they will never like know that until they've been through that journey. They will never be able to anticipate that. And even like someone like Frodo, it didn't hit him really until like he tried to live a normal life again back in the Shire.
And well, and they had hopes too. They were talking about the Shire and how much they wanted to do this and that, and Sam was always on about that. But at some point, Frodo was just too destroyed by the ring, and then I think that was when the turning point was, where he was like, I don't feel anything anymore. I don't. All of this you talk about the Shire and everything, and I don't feel it, and I can't see it anymore. I can't picture it.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, when they were still on the journey, and he sort of resigned. It was like, I'm never going home after this. And even Sam, and in the end, when they were on that volcano, he got to that place as well, and it was like the first of the, as people joke, like the first of the 13 endings in some of that movie. Happens there, and then Gandalf comes in on the eagles and picks them up. So I'm sure even after that, maybe Frodo got a little bit of hope back, because they actually did get rescued, and they are actually going to get back to the Shire, even though he thought that was never gonna fucking happen. And then maybe later on, again, it was like, even though I did the unthinkable, we did the unthinkable, the seemingly impossible, we finished this journey and we got back, I'm still broken.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Like the scar that never healed and always hurts, and it's the
the
same thing. I'm
blade
sorry,
and,
I'm just bringing up another one, but like Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. Spoiler alert: when it ends, she's also feeling this bittersweet thing where it's like they lost so many people and they went through so much trauma. That was also basically like one huge civil war.
Oh yeah,
so
it's fucking brutal. It's brutal.
Yeah, so that's also the whole thing where it's like, we survive in the end and we are still alive, but
the journey just broke us.
Life?
Yeah, exactly. So you can definitely see some, maybe like see some what do you call it? Similarities. There we go. Words. See some similarities there between other fictional characters and journeys, big epics, just like what we're getting here with Attack on Titan, and young characters as well, younger people going through these horrible things. And I don't know how it's going to end, but I have a feeling that it's going to be bittersweet when we do get to the very end of this story.
Yeah, and what if this whole talk is actually not necessarily that they're coming back, but that they are not coming back? That's also horrible. And then also Levi just sitting and eavesdropping on them. Where it's like,
I don't think he did that intentionally.
No.
I think he was just sitting out there by himself, maybe, and he overheard or
but it's
something.
And especially when we then cut to the last scene there where he's attacking them, where it's a bit like,
what happened, man? What happened? We're gonna find out.
Yeah.
Soon-ish, perhaps. Do you have anything else you want to add to this? No. All right. I think there was one other thing. Oh yeah, just Armin mentioning again with wanting to see the sea and wanting Eren to see the sea. He does at some point, as we've seen in the flash forward at the very beginning of season 3, when the long hair and all that, when he's visibly older. So he is gonna get there
at some point.
But I'm sure a lot's gonna happen before he gets to that point. But that's gonna do it for this reaction and review of Attack on Titan season 3 episode 12. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and we'll see you as soon as possible. I was just about to say may the force be with you.
Not right franchise.
Yeah, not wrong franchise. It's just in real time we just wrapped up the Book of Boba, and usually maybe I just miss it. I don't know. I keep talking. Bye.
Bye.